And here we are for another day in the wonderful world of variable expressions. Just time to get more people online. Mira wins. Just trying to get my previous video to actually upload to YouTube. We'll get more people online. I guess I'm going to go ahead and send out a reminder saying, hey, the invitation is up and running. Let's watch Mr. Matthews type on his phone. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. Usually the videos upload pretty quickly. This one's taking its sweet time. Oh well. Well, it might be a small crowd. I'm gonna give everybody a couple more minutes to figure out if they're coming or not. It's Zora. Yeah, you guys have your videos turned off, but that's fine. If I always disclaim at the beginning of the stream, if you don't want to end up on YouTube on accident, then yeah, just leave your video camera turned off. Someone very cleverly named themselves you. Okay, that's deep. So let's see. For you folks that are already in here, I'm looking at some people that have finished all their assignments. I bet that the quizzes don't let you retake them, or do they? I guess that's my question to anyone in here that has taken the 2 quiz assignments that I posted, and just to tell me whether or not you were able to retake them if you, let's say, did poorly. Well, when I'm looking at the scores people have, it's it does give me an option to look at first attempt and last attempts. So I guess it does let you retry them. Or maybe it lets you get like one more shot at them, something like that. So far, most people look like they're doing pretty well on the scores. Okay. Well, the way I'm going to start is by looking at some of these quiz questions that multiple people are missing, and we will start with those and kind of branch out from there. And if you guys have something more specific you want to talk about, we can. Otherwise, I will keep making stuff up. We'll go from there. Right now, I'm just trying to manage all these windows. Here we go. Okay. So, okay, I don't want to type out the actual quiz question because then, people can just rip it. So I'm going to make one up here that's very, very, very similar. All right, so evaluate 12 minus 0.8 G plus 0.4 J when G equals, I don't know, 5. And J equals 2. Now let's make it 12. Yeah, that's good. So this is a style question that multiple people missed on their assignment. I guess we'll start there. So the problem is to evaluate, which basically means, get the best answer you can. There's no equation, really. So important information, they tell us that G is equal to 5 and that J is equal to 12. So essentially, it's a substitution moment where if I can substitute and attend to precision, I should be all right with producing a right answer. I totally forgot to get attendance from last video. Anyway. All right, so what I'm going to do is take the G value of 5. Wait a minute. All right, so this value for G is 5. This value for J is 12. And I'm simply going to rewrite the equation with those numbers involved. So, or not, the expression rather. So it'll be 12 minus 0.8 times whatever G is, that happens to be 5, plus 0.4 times whatever J happens to be, which is 12. And then do some basic arithmetic. So that means you'd end up with 12 minus, all right, so 8 times 5 is 40. So 8 tenths times 5 should be 4. Plus 4 times 12 would be 40, it'd be 48. So 4 tenths times 12 would probably be 4.8. And then adding and subtracting are on the same power level for order of operations. So I'm just going to go left to right. So 12 minus 4 would be 8 plus 4.8 So the answer would be 12.8. There are not many problems from the assignment so far that multiple people are missing, but that's one of them. It's a problem that's very, very similar to that anyway. Feel free guys to start digging through your own work and think, oh yeah, this is one I did not know how to do. And then you can either screenshot it to me or tell me via personal, like a private chat or whatever. Okay, so here's another very similar one to the one I just did. But instead of decimals, they decided to make you panic with fractions. So this one said to evaluate. I'm not going to give you the exact problem, so I'll make up a little bit of this. So MV plus 9H. Oh wait, use the same variable. So 9V when M equals 12 and V equals, come on mouse, here we go. And V equals, I'm going to go ahead and write a fraction. We'll say 1/3. Okay, so this is another one where most people miss it. Again, it's basic substitution, but it gets a little more complicated, I guess, because there are fractions involved. So I'm going to take the original. The original equation was M times V plus 9V, and I'm just going to substitute in our values of, so M is equal to 12 and V is equal to 1/3. No, okay. So that means I'm going to do 12 multiplied by 1/3 plus 9 times 1/3. Okay. So substitution, I don't care if they're fractions, just got to deal with it. So 12 times 1/3, that'd be the same as 12. That's 12 over 1 times 1/3. So that'd be 12 over 3 once you multiply top times top and bottom times bottom. Then 9 over 1 times 1/3 would be 9 over 3. Lucky us, those are really super compatible numbers. What I mean by that is 12 divided by 3, that's the same as 4 plus 9 over 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So the whole thing is equal to 7. Again, that's not the actual problem that several people missed, but that is basically a replica of it. Let's see if the other one has problems that most people missed. If you're just joining and you want to make up your, if you want me to do a specific problem, just send me a screenshot or tell me which lessons it's in or give me some sort of direction. If you send a screenshot via email, it'd probably be the fastest way to get it to me. Sorry, having technical difficulties getting to the next problem. I hope everyone's feeling well and their families are all healthy and safe and good. The number 7 on assignment 2. Okay, so you're talking like from the 8th grade work. I was going to be doing variable expressions, but I can do that. Whoever you are. I'm pulling up the problem now. It's number 7 assignment 2. Oh, fun. Yeah, logic problems. Okay. So let me clear this off real quick. Okay, for those of you that are not pulling it up yourselves, let me capture the problem real quick. Okay, so I'm not going to solve this exact problem because that'd be cheaters, but I will make one up that's very similar. So they give us a number line. And somewhere on that number line, they're going to mark the value of 0. And then they're going to place a few points. And we'll call this A and this B. Now, for this particular lesson, it's a real brain exercise of logic. It's not really necessary that you know exactly what A and B are value-wise. What is important is you know which one is positive and which one is negative. And by quickly observing that this is where 0 is, that means that that A is going to be positive and B is going to be negative. And that's all you need to know for the time being. Then they give you some equation or expression that you're expected to evaluate based on knowing that A and B are either positive or negative. So let me make one up real quick. So let's say that we're doing I don't know why I'm trying to type it in this program. It's just easier to write it. Okay, so let's try and make this make sense. What if we did A to the 7th power times B to the 10th, no, let's go big, 19th power. Now, what they want from you in the end is only for you to tell them whether the answer is positive or negative. All they want is the sign. So I don't really care what B to the 19th actually is. I just want to know what is their, what is their sign going to be? Is it going to be positive, negative, or 0? So here's the rule. Well, A to the 7th, since A is already a positive number, I know this is going to come out to be a positive value. I know that. This is the one that's tricky. So since B is a negative value already, we got to go to that rule about even and odd exponents. If the exponent is odd, that's going to mean that that'll determine whether our answer is going to be positive or negative, because B, whatever it is a negative value. So if you've got 19 of them, imagine them in little pairs. For every 2 you multiply together, they make a positive value, because negative times negative is positive, negative times negative is positive, negative times negative is positive. But in this number, 19, that means you get 9 pairs of couples, and then one standing by himself. Because it's an odd number, that means that there'll be an extra negative number being multiplied by everything. So I know that B to the 19th will be a negative value. And so if this were my question, I'm having a positive value times a negative value. So I know my answer's sign is going to be negative. So that's how that works. So for the actual problem, you need to look at F and look at G and decide, are they positive, are they negative? And then based on those, once you think about substituting them in, what would they become? And if you actually multiply them together, no matter what values they actually are, only knowing that they're positive or negatives, you could decide, well, my answer would have to be either positive or negative or 0. So that's how that works. Okay, so going back to variable expressions, I need to change this. So today's the 8th. Why am I only showing up one lesson? This is strange. You're basically staring at me trying to pull up the con lessons that I signed in a minute ago. I had all of them ready to go. Let me hear. Let me stop my share for a second. A minute ago, I had them all pulled up, and now they are not showing. So, Williams experience. There they are. Okay. I don't know what happened, but apparently my sharing like bugged out my other con window. Okay. Ooh, much more people are missing some of these. Combining like terms. All right. Let's go back to sharing real quick. All right, let me clear this out. And on paper and pencil, I want you guys to try one, and let's see how you all do. This one was missed by more people. Okay, so more people missed this one than got it right, actually. Interesting. Okay, so combining like terms. There's a funny video I posted on Classroom to watch where it had little pictures of Chuck Norris being combined together. Essentially, the like terms that are being mentioned here, like terms, that means the same variables. Of course, I would try to write it by hand. Why would I want to just type it out? Okay. Combining like terms means you get the same variables to the same powers. So let me give you, this is the actual problem that a whole bunch of people, like more people missed it than got it right. Here it is. Okay, if that's hard to read, I'm gonna write that again. So the problem that so many people missed is negative 5.8 C plus 4.2 minus 3.1 plus 1.4 C. Now, I'm not going to give the actual answer this way because reasons. However, you should notice negative 5.8 C and 1.4 C both have the same variable, both have the same powers, and also 4.2 and negative 3.1, they have the same variables even though they have none. Like that's what they have in common. They don't have any variables, and they have the same powers because they're both the first power. So those are our like terms. So let me put this aside for a minute. Now, here's the one I want you guys to try, and then we can talk about it and not give away any answers. So why don't you try and combine this? So I'm going to get similar to that. Let's say 12.7 M plus 8.1 G minus 9.4 M plus stretch this out. Plus 20 minus 5.6 G. Okay, there. So take just half a second to write this down. I'll give you a little bit of a head start, and let's see if you can combine like terms. And if you don't know how, just write it down and wait. Yay, finally, the video from this morning uploaded. So that is there. So anybody that missed it can go watch it. Okay, so let's see how you done did. So I've got some things to notice here. Okay, so 12.7 M and negative 9.4 M, those are like terms. So I can almost do that like a little mini problem. So 12.7 minus 9.4 would be 3.3, I believe. 12 minus 9 is 3, 7 minus 4 is 3. Yeah, okay, so, whoops, wrong tool. So we have 3.3 M. Okay, so we're done with those. Next, I've got 8.1 G and I've got 5.6 G. Those are like terms because they have the same variable, same power. So 8.1 minus 5.6. 8.1 minus 5.6, a little borrowing involved. 11 minus 6 is 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. Okay, so we have positive 2.5 G. So 12.7 M plus minus 9.4 M would be 3.3 M. And then 8.1 G minus 5.6 G would be 2.5 G. And then we just have this random plus 20. It doesn't have any friends to combine with, so you just end up leaving it alone. So it's just plus 20. So that's combining like terms in a microcosm. It means a miniature world. And based on the report, more people missed a problem very similar to that than got it right. Interesting. Here's another one that more people. Oh, nice. Okay, so yeah, more people miss this one, but it's a little more cheeky than that. Okay, so what do you guys make of this? I'm not going to give the actual problem. I'm going to type up something very similar. So H plus 8H. How do I don't want to give it away. Okay. Okay, a really basic example would be something like this. Now, if I wanted you to give me equivalent expressions, just anything that equals the same, you could say a bunch of things. You could say that this is equal to 3h plus 5. You could say it's equal to 2h plus h plus 5. You could say it's equal to, you put in parentheses and say it's equal to h plus h plus h plus 5. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to write it. And this lesson is all about noticing equivalent expressions. Okay, so let me give you one that's a little more complex and see if you notice. Let me give it to you in a true and false sort of way. Okay, so let's see. Just as a heads up, a 5-year-old might be interrupting in a second. Here, okay, I'm gonna write this down, and I want you to decide if it's true or false. So let's go m plus m plus 10. Okay, true or false? Is that the same as that expression? And I'll be right back. Let me say that again. Everyone is chiming in that is true or true debt. Yes, and I think that's probably the main reason people missed it. So yeah, if there are two m's, so it's like it's factoring and it's distributed property parts of your brain that can be a little clever. So let me see if I can. These are kind of tricky to make up. Okay, how about this? Or whatever. People are gonna cheat. People are gonna cheat. Let's just look at this problem. Okay, so here's one that a bunch of people missed. More people missed this one than got it right. It might be a little hard to see, especially on the replay. And for some reason, when I post these back on YouTube, my screen is so light. It's just like it feels like the whole screen is just washed out with tint. But there, we've been given an expression, and it wants us to pick all the ones that are equivalent. So when I've got, okay, so I'm going to rewrite this a little bit bigger. So 2 parentheses 4f plus 2g. Oh, my first instinct is to just go ahead and do the distributive property, which is to multiply 2 times both terms. That would be 8f plus 4g. 8f, so that's on there. So I know that's one of them. The question is, are any of the other ones good or not? Well, 8f plus 2g, that can't be right. 2f. Okay, so this one's trying to do a factoring, like it pull the f out of the parentheses. Now you're only allowed to do that if you're taking something out of both. Like both terms would have to be divisible by f, and they're just not. Only one of them has the f, so that can't be right. That's the one you gotta think about right there. Let's see, 4f plus 4f plus 4g. Oh, interesting. Okay, so looking at this one, this says 4f. I'm just gonna write it in case someone can't see it. So 4f plus 4f plus 4g. It's like the opposite of being lazy. You're making it way more complicated. But if you ask me if it's equivalent, well, 4f and 4f makes 8f, and 4g is there. So yeah, I'd have to agree with it. So this one, I think it's right. I just want to, even my old brain wants to rethink it. So this one says 4 parentheses 2f plus g. Well, 4 times 2f is 8f, and 4 times, like I'm thinking out loud and doing the distributive property. 4 times 2f and 4 times g. Well, 4 times 2f would be 8f, and 4 times g would be 4g. So yeah, I'd have to accept this one as well. A few things about these is that even if you're at home thinking, oh, I can just boot up a calculator and solve and do my work, calculator's not going to solve this one for you. These are pure skill and drill logic problems that you either know the rules and can sort of logic your way through them, or you don't and you end up having to guess. Now, this one did give us a little tip that there would be 3 answers. So maybe you could have also said, well, I figured out what 2 are. No, these 2 are wrong, so the other one has to be right. But ability. Okay, so at this time, since it's just now after 12, unless you guys have a question from an assignment or a question about a skill or a video I posted or whatever, we're going to call it a day. So take a second to look at stuff and see. Just checking emails to see if anyone popped me a question. See if there's any problems you want me to work out specifically, or maybe give you an example of one just like it. If you guys know anyone, I'm going to paraphrase an email I just got from admin. If you guys are aware of any one of your friends that has a Chromebook, but they left it at school, maybe they weren't there to bring it home or something, get them to email me so that I can send that information on to the right people. Yeah. Mr. Jackson is trying to make sure that any students who left their Chromebook definitely got them back. We had a list, but it might not be perfect. So I guess last call, if anybody has a problem or a skill or a concern, now will be the time until tomorrow. The Zoom options seem to get more complicated. For some reason, it won't let me do my cool Auburn background anymore. And maybe it can. Maybe they updated their version and I need to figure out where the switch is. But I like that. It was called a virtual background. Anyway, I hope you guys are all safe and well and healthy. I hope you and your families are making it through this with as little disruption as possible to daily life. The the order that went out from the governor said you have to stay home unless you're going out for like groceries or attending the health or getting medicine or maybe hardware for your house or something. But you are allowed to go outside and run around as long as you keep your social distance. So stay 6 feet away from people. Don't get into big groups. But that doesn't mean you have to stay inside necessarily. But right now, if you haven't done it, go make your bed because every good day starts to get a made bed. That's my policy. So I guess that is it for today. I'll post the video for anybody that missed it, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.